Hey everyone, this is Stefan from Lush&SaltyAquariums. How are we doing? Oh man, check it out. I gave two of my aquariums a pretty thorough cleaning, water change, haircut, aka trimming the plants, and just general maintenance. So I thought I'd show off two of them, starting with this one, the Fluval Edge with the glass top, and I added an extra light so I can get powerful par so that these Monte Carlo grow lush and green like a beard, like a leprechaun's beard. It's awesome. And look at that school of lamb chop rasboras, tight, fat, happy, no ick, no fin rot, just doing superbly. And I've had those creatures for 2 years now. I've not lost one, and they're just doing really well, even though this is arguably a small tank for them. And there's a shit ton of cherry shrimp, and a lot of them are Bloody Mary grade. In other words, they're deep red with no blotches, and you can see I have plenty. And folks, if you're in West Marin, I'm willing to trade some of these babies. The best deal you could ever imagine, because I've got 1,000. So it's not going to take much for me to, excuse a frog in my throat. I don't keep frogs. In any event, happy to trade, or I'll even give you some, for crying out loud. Let's rub antennas, let's get together. Cherry shrimp do super well in this tank and a bunch of my others. And this one has a beta in it as well. He's a reclusive fish. Is that him? Nope, that's a rock. But I got those 5 white platinum betas by accident in the mail, and I had to house them in a number of different aquariums. And so even though I would have never done it, I put one in here. And so help me God, he's happy in there. I just don't know where he is. I did, as I said, do a heavy maintenance, so he might be, well, I know he's behind one of these two plant structures, and I don't want to go digging around. If he comes up, I'll zoom the camera over there. But I'm running CO2, and that's not the bubbles from the CO2, that's from the spillover on the filter kit that comes with this tank. It's actually more than you need. It's a really good hang on the back filter that comes with the Fluval Edge 7-gallon, which is what this is, as does this light under the black box. And then of course I added the Finex, a $30 light I got online, and boom, you see incredible plant growth with minimal, if any, algae. I mean, look at the leaves in those Anubias. Hardly a black splotch to be seen. Now there is some, obviously. I've got some Buchalandra. God, I can never say that. That's this purpley green plant in the center. I love Bucce, B-U-C-C-E. I can't say it. God forgive me. What a fail. But I love the plant, and I just dig this aquascape. You see the beautiful kind of smooth piece of wood that creates the classic L shape or hockey stick. Java fern kind of from betwixt and between, a taller, thinner crypt plant that creates the high end, and then of course the Monte Carlo, and a Anubias in the back, which tends to bloom sometimes. I've cut the dead flower when I did the maintenance. So that's this tank, and how about it? So if we move over here, now this tank I was having a lot of problems with blackbeard algae. Well, first of all, it's a Endler tank, and it's got, again, Captain Inappropriate. There's some big fat female Endlers, but I also have a school, maybe 3 or 4 pea puffers in here, and they certainly are allowed to eat the fry from these guppies. I have so many, and I feed blackworms, and of course I throw in some snails. There's my little snail menagerie, and I'll trap those, and then I'll throw 4 or 5 in here. The puffers are really fat and looking great. They're almost as fat in their own way. Well, they are as fat in their own way as these female endlers. And damn it, I've got to find you one. Now let's see. I see one. There you go. Look at that. Boom! Isn't he or she pretty? And there's a few in there, as well as Autosynclus for cleaning algae, and my usual prerequisite Hasbrosa's catfish, the pygmy corydoras. I keep those in all my tanks. You know, I like what works, and even though I did have an algae problem, I'm correcting it by upping the CO2. I've also, when I did the water change, I have a spray can with hydrogen peroxide. You just buy it at CVS, and I spritz all the leaves that have that black green algae, and within 48 hours it turns purple and just sloughs right off, and I can suck it up with a siphon or just let the filter do it. And it's really, really working in this tank. I mean, this is an overcrowded mess, I'm not gonna lie, but it's my mess, and it's got everything I like in terms of plants. I love this species of Crip. It's so easy to grow, it spreads, and it has that purple and that sort of sensual elegance to it. Now up here, I'm going to show you there's fry, there's all the gorgeous endlers, but there's also, believe it or not, a few clown killifish in here. So I'm breaking every freaking rule. Clown killifish with boisterous endlers and predating pufferfish? What? WTF? Well, it's all working, folks, at Lush and Salty Aquariums. It's all working. I even got my favorite plants growing out. Look at this. I put one in the filter, and the roots go in there, and they help the filter do its job. And I've got this plant here, and it's shooting up, and you can actually see there's some flowers growing, and it's going to do its thing, and I'll have to trim it back. But it's about the plants, just like in my saltwater tank. It's about the corals. In some respects, the fish are ornaments on the tree, but the tree's the thing, right? So that's how I look at Christmas, and that's how I look at aquarium keeping. Although you gotta love these lamb chop rasboras. They're just nicer than the common harlequin rasboras. No offense to that fish, but these ones shimmer more bronze. They're smaller in general, and they're not as boisterous. So all contributing to a fabulous nano tank experience. And here I love endlers because there's something very, I don't know, like Asian origami or something, and they're a lot smaller. Even though these females are pretty big, they're a lot smaller than most fancy guppies, so you can have more, and clearly I have that issue. So folks, those are my two freshly cleaned or maintenanced nano tanks. I hope you enjoyed this visit. Questions, comments, hit me up, and always keep your hands in the tank. Ciao for now.